Hello everyone. So in last video we discussed about communication criteria in second module. So now today's video we are going to discuss about IoT access technologies. So I hope you all watched yesterday's video. If you not watched, first watch that communication criteria video. So and then next we move to IoT access technologies. So in communication criteria we discussed about we want to transfer the information between the sensor networks or in your smart objects. So which are all the criteria we need to follow, so that we discussed in last video. So now in this video, so by using that criteria, so which are the different types of IoT technologies are available, so and then which are the different types of IoT technologies already using in a market. Okay, so available that IoT technologies available in the market, and then what are all the things that IoT access technologies are implemented, and which are all the things they need to concentrate. All those things we discussed in this chapter. So this one is the last chapter in your second module, IoT access technologies. So so in this chapter, so in IoT access technologies, we discussed about IoT standards. So first one is IEEE 802.15.4. So this one is an older but foundational wireless protocol for connecting smart objects. So this IEEE 802.15.4 is an older one, earlier one, and then but this one is the foundation, basic. So when IoT concept was introduced, smart object concepts were introduced. So there during that time they are using this standard. So this one is the fundamental wireless protocol for connecting smart objects. So for connecting smart objects, so this standard using a fundamental wireless protocols. So and then second one is IEEE 802.15.4G and IEEE 802.15.4E. This one is the extended version of your fundamental 802.15.4. Updated versions are 802.15.4G and IEEE 802.15.4E are targeted to utilities and smart city development. So this first standard, only that fundamental standards are using to connect the smart objects, okay, small objects, and that updation version 802.15.4G and 802.15.4E. These two are the updated versions, so they are targeted to develop a smart city concepts. So there we are using these technologies. And the third one is IEEE 1901.2A. This one is the technology for connecting smart objects over power lines. Through power lines, for connecting power lines. Power lines means just like your meter, home electric meter, and then street lights for connecting power lines. So for that we are using this IEEE 1901.2 A technology. And then fourth one is IEEE 802.11 AH. So this one is the technology built on well-known 802.11 Wi-Fi standards. So that is specifically for smart objects. So this standard we already using in our laptops for connecting Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi ನಾವು ಏನು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. So that one is your IEEE 802.11 AH. And then fifth one is LORAWAN. So LORA is nothing but low range wireless area network. So this one is a scalable technology designed for long distance with low power consumption. So this one is used to connect long distance wireless area network using low power requirements in the unlicensed spectrum. In communication criteria, while we discussed about frequency, there we discussed about licensed and unlicensed. So this low range wireless area network using unlicensed spectrum for transferring the data for long distance using unlicensed spectrum, we are using LORAWAN, low range wireless area network. And then next one is NB-IoT. NB-IoT is narrowband IoT and other LTE variations. So this sixth one is mainly used for licensed spectrum transmission. Licensed spectrum transmission is nothing but your mobile transmission. So in your mobile, So I already told in that communication area concept. So in mobile, that one is licensed version. So that spectrum or signals, data signals will be provided by a service providers. So that service provider get the license. So that licensed spectrum technologies used this NB IoT and other LTE variations technology. Okay, IoT technology. So which are often the choose of mobile service providers looking for connect smart object over a long distance in the license spectrum. Through mobile, you want to access your devices, IoT devices in a long distance. There we are using narrowband IoT. This one is licensed spectrum. That's why narrowband. So here low range wireless unlicensed one. You can connect anywhere just like Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi available in a public network. Okay. So these are all the concepts we covered in this chapter. So we discussed one by one in next slides. So next slide. So if you want to discuss about IoT access technologies, so that IoT access technologies we are discussing based on this six concepts. So based on this six concept, your IoT access technologies are using. So ನಿಮ್ಮ IoT access technologies ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, these six concepts are used by your IoT access technologies. So the first one is standardization and alliances. So standardization and alliances is the first concept. So we need to address the or we need to think we need to address while we are designing a IoT, or while we are using, not designing, while we are using our IoT access technology. First we have to uh, know about what are the standards available for that particular IoT technology. The standard bodies that maintain the protocol for a technology. These are the standard bodies. Standard bodies in the sense that available devices. So now we know the IoT access technology is IEEE 802.15.4. So we are not directly using that technology. So for that IoT technology, they designed one device. That device we are going to use. That device we call as standardization and alliances. So that we have to discuss which are the available standards. Okay, and then next one is physical layer. So in this physical layer, so how that data will get transmit through wired or wireless methods. So that one we discussed in physical layer. And MAC layer. So MAC layer is nothing but media access control. How exactly how many bits of data are going to transfer through this existing physical layer. It may be wired or wireless. Wireless physical layer ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ wired ಅಥವಾ wireless ಆಗಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರಬಹುದು. ಆ wired ಅಥವಾ wireless ಅಲ್ಲಿ how that data ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, media, that one we discussed in MAC layer. Consideration at the media access control layer which bridges and physical layer with data link control. So here the main thing is, so this MAC layer is bridge between your physical layer with data link layer. Physical layer, so is the main thing to transfer the information, means physical connection in networking ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು physical connection ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, wired or wireless. Through that, how we are going to send the data, that one is defined by MAC layer. Okay, and then topology. So topology, so this one is the very important thing. So how we are connecting the devices. So topology indicates how the devices are connected. So which topology they are using, whether they are using mesh or star, okay, or peer-to-peer topology. So that we discussed. Okay, that we have to discuss in topology concept. And then security concepts. So in the different IoT technologies, so what are the security measures they are going to take, which algorithms they are using to secure your data while they are transferring from one place to another place, within short distance or in long distance. So and then competitive technologies. So competitive, in this competitive technologies, so we are discussing about, so which are the competitive technologies available for this existing technologies. So while we are discussing about the IoT access technologies, first we have to consider based on this different types six different types, so we have to design our IoT technology. The first one is, so that's why here they mentioned following topics are addressed for each IoT access technology. These are the main things that address the IoT technologies. So the first one is standardization and analysis, physical layer, MAC layer, topology, security, and competitive technology. If you design or if you consider any IoT access technology, so there that IoT access technologies are addressed by these six things. Okay, just like while you are purchasing mobile or laptop, so you are going to check the specifications, right? Specifications na check ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಎಷ್ಟು RAM ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು gigahertz processor speed ಇದೆ, okay, and then ಎಷ್ಟು memory available ಇದೆ. So like that, so here also while you are selecting IoT access technologies, that technologies are addressed based on these things. Okay, these six things. So next we start our discussion with first one. That first one is your IEEE 802.15.4. So this one I already told, this one is the earlier and basic fundamental IoT access technologies, IoT access technology. So this IEEE 802.15.4 is a wireless access technology. So this one is not a wire. This one is a wireless access technology for low cost and low data rate devices that are powered or run on batteries. So, okay. So this IEEE 802.15.4 is a wireless access technology. This one is not wired, and this one is a low cost and low data rate. Low cost and low data rate. Low data rate means it will transfer less amount of data. Okay, and then these devices may be powered or battery powered. You can also use the direct power connections, or you can attach battery. You can also power will be consumed through batteries. Okay, so this IEEE 802.15 is commonly found in the following types. So where exactly these standards are using, so these standards are using this IEEE technology is using in home and building automation. So home, for example, smart home. So in smart home, okay, and then building automation, automotive networks. So networks are automation field. Okay, automate machines ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು small parts objects ಅಲ್ಲಿ interact ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, for example. So IoT enabled cycle. Okay, IoT enabled cycles. So and IoT enabled scooters, and then IoT cars. So there they are using this technology, and then industrial wireless sensor networks. So within that small range in industries, and then interactive toys and remote controls. In toys just like remote train. Okay, are you seeing in your home some kids are using some of the remote cars and toy cars, those in those technologies, in those devices, this IoT 802.15.4 standard we are using. So next one is, so IoT, this technologies focus on MAC reliability, unbounded latency, and susceptible to interference and multipath trading. So here in definition they mentioned that IoT IEEE 802.15.4, this technology is mainly a wireless access technology. So wireless access technology means, so here there are more number of interference, and then latency is also increased. So if it is wired, then we can directly interact, but wireless, so in wireless, so we are facing these problems we already know. So that problems also here, this MAC layer is mainly focus on that reliability and latency. Okay, so that one we discussed here, and then next one is, first we see the standards. So I already told each IoT access technology addressed by that six main points. The first one is standardization and alliances, second one is physical layer, third one is MAC layer, fourth one is topology, security, and as well as competitive technology. So first we will start our discussion with standardization. So standardization and alliances, which are the standard devices we devise to represent this IoT 802.15.4 technology. So we already know this IoT technology is a low data rate. Okay, low data rate, a physical and MAC layer in wireless personal area networks. So this one having feature of low data rate, low data transmission. So the technology ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ, it will transfer less amount of data. We can't send more large amount of data ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು send ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Only we can send low data. Okay, less amount of data ನ send ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, this standard have low complexity wireless devices with low data rate with good battery life. So obviously if you are sending less amount of data, so that battery life is also good. means if you send less amount of data, that power consumption will be less. If you send more amount of data, that power consumption will increases. So and then low complexity wireless device. Low complexity means low latency. Low latency because we are sending a less amount of data. That's why here a low complexity wireless device. That's why they told low complexity wireless device. So this IEEE 802.15.4 PHY indicates physical and MAC layers are the foundation for several networking protocol stacks. So this standard technology, this technology will be a foundation for several networking protocols. So they are ZigBee. So ZigBee is the device. If you are doing any IoT projects. So in that IoT project for wireless communication, mainly we are using ZigBee component. So ZigBee is a component for wireless communication. So it can cover medium range from 10 to 100 meters. Okay, medium range. So that one is not a short range. Medium range ZigBee. So ZigBee is developed based on this technology. So that's why I told standardization means which are the technologies are developed by using this, means which are all the components or devices developed by using this technology. So the devices are ZigBee, okay, and then 6 LOWPAN. So 6 LOWPAN means 6 in the sense this one using IP version 6, IPv6. So that's why they mentioned P6, sorry, 6 IPv6. This one is not using IP protocol IPv4. This one is using IPv6, low power wireless personal area network, a low range wireless area network, and then ZigBee IP, okay, ZigBee through IP, and then ISA 100.11a, okay, and then wireless HART, okay, wireless HART, and then thread. So these are the protocols designed by using this IEEE 802.15.4 IoT technology. Okay, next we see one by one. So this where exactly these protocols are using. So this standard. So that protocol first one is ZigBee. So ZigBee promoted through ZigBee Alliance. Okay, this one is promoted by ZigBee Alliance. Alliance is in the sense they are the group of peoples. ZigBee defines upper layer components as well as application profiles. Common profiles including building automations, home automations. Actually, this ZigBee is mainly using in that I already told, this one is medium range within 10 to 100 meters, so it can access. So mainly this one is using in building automation, home automation, and healthcare. ZigBee also defines the devices, objects, foundations such as device role, device discovery, network joint, and then security. Okay, so for more information on ZigBee, see the ZigBee Alliance webpage. Okay, so here they mentioned they just briefly explain that ZigBee. So ZigBee through promoted means this one is will be promoted to ZigBee Alliance. So ZigBee defines the upper layer components. So in network upper layer component. Okay, next we see the ZigBee protocol stack. There we came to know how exactly ZigBee will work. Okay, but ZigBee mainly used in healthcare means home automation, building automations. There, okay, medium range communications. For there we are using ZigBee components. Okay, and then we can also use ZigBee in device discovery. If you want to devise a new devices there, network join if you want to connect the two networks. So there also we are using this ZigBee protocol, and then 6LOWPAN. This 6LOP I already told. This one uses IPv6 adaptation layer defined by IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. Define this 6LOWPAN working group that describes how to transport IPv6 packets over IEEE 802.15.4 layers. Okay, so um, this one, this 6LOWPAN, okay, low range, sorry, 6 IPv6 low power wireless personal area network. Okay, so this one will be described by the uh, working group. Okay, that name, that IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. So they developed a 6LOWPAN working group. So this one will be designed. This protocol is to design to transfer to transport the IPv6 packets. IPv6 internet through how the data will be transferred in IPv6 internet protocol version 6. Okay, so RFC request for commands, so documents header compression and IPv6 enhancement to cope with the specific details. IEEE 802.15 for information, see chapter 5. Okay, so mainly this one is to design to transfer the information through IPv6 packets, transfer the IPv6 packets through or over IEEE 802.15.4 layers. Okay, that's why they designed this protocol. And then ZigBee IP, so an evolution of the ZigBee protocol stack. ZigBee IP adopts this 6LO WPA adaptation layer. Okay, so in ZigBee we can't send the IPv6 packets. Okay, so for sending IPv6 packets, so they updated the ZigBee into ZigBee IP. Okay, so this adopts this protocol 6LO WPAN. So this one helps to transfer IPv6 packets. So that IPv6 network protocol to RPL routing protocol. This RPL is a routing protocol, low power logic, low power network. Okay. So in addition, it offers improvements to IP security. ZigBee IP discussed more detail in this chapter. Means next slides we discussed that is ZigBee IP protocol stack also. Okay. So ZigBee IP is a updated version for ZigBee. So in ZigBee, we can send the data through IPv4 version. For IPv6, we use ZigBee IP. Okay, and then IS Android Not 11A. So this is developed by International Society of Automation as wireless system for industrial automation, process control, and related application. So this protocol is designed to industrial automation process. For industrial automation process, you introduce this ISA and Android Not 11E. Okay, it is based on IEEE 802.15.4 2006. Actually, this one is introduced, and specifications were published in 2010, and then IEC 62734. So the network and transport layer are based on IETF 6LO WPAN. Okay, so this one is based on 6LO WPAN. In the sense, this one is using IPv6 and UDP standards. UDP is for wireless transmission. So and then wireless HART. So this wireless HART promoted for HART Communication Foundation. So this one is for this wireless HART. So wireless HART is nothing but highway addressable remote transducer. So highway addressable. So this communication foundation is the protocol stack that offers the time synchronized. So timing synchronized for synchronizing time slot, for allocating based on the time slot, it will starting that event will be get a trigger. Information will get trigger and self-organizing and self-healing mesh architecture. So this HART can be found that means if you want to study about this the wireless HART, then you go through this. So mainly for timely synchronization and for self healing and then self organizing, for self organizing mesh architecture and self healing mesh architecture. So they are using wireless HART. So highway addressable remote transducer. Remoting means for example ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಮೋಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಟೋಮೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಏನೋ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಕೂಡ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಹೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, so that indication of damage we are using wireless HART. And the next one is thread. So this one is constructed on the top of IETF 6LO WPAN IP. Thread is a protocol stack for secure and reliable mesh network to connect the control products in the home. So in home automation mainly use this thread protocol. This one is also constructed on the top of IEEE. So wireless low power wireless personal area network IPv6. So this one is using IPv6 for transferring IPv6 data are transferring through IPv6. Okay, and then this protocol stack for secure reliable mesh network to connect and control the products in the home. So home automation, security, for providing security and then reliability to the mesh architecture. For mesh architecture to providing security and reliability, so they are using this thread protocol. Okay. So next we see about IEEE 802.15.4 ZigBee. So why how this ZigBee will be work? What is this ZigBee? So ZigBee solution are aimed to smart objects and sensor that have low bandwidth interpret with the low power needs. We already know. So this IEEE standard IEEE technology, okay, technology we are using for mainly for low data rate transmission. So and then low power consumption, it consumes low power. So for low data rate and low power consumption smart objects, we can use the ZigBee standard protocol. So set of commands and message. So set of commands and message types are called clusters. So it have set of types and commands. So ZigBee is the most well-known, include automation for commercial, retail, and home applications, and smart energy. Okay, so this one is the this one is mainly used in retail, and then mainly in home automations, and then smart energy devices. We are using this ZigBee components. It have a set of commands and messages. Means through this ZigBee we can send a set of commands and messages within that medium range. Okay. So through a cluster in the sense. So here they can use the mesh topology. Okay. So this one is the high level ZigBee protocol stack. So that this ZigBee protocol stack using IEEE 802.15.4 in physical and MAC layer. In physical and MAC layer, physical means that connection, mainly wireless connection, and then MAC layer means for sending information, data send madakoskara. They are using IEEE standard, and then ZigBee platform stack. In this they are using application support, network, and security layer. So first layer is physical layer, above that MAC layer, and then network and security layer, and then application support. So network and security layer. So how the data will be transmitted. So here this ZigBee is not using IPv6 6LO WPEN. So this one is using only IPv4. Okay, network layer using IPv4 in IPv4 to transfer the data packets, and then security. So security also it will provide, and then application support. So that one we call as ZigBee platform stack in platform, and then next ZigBee mainly ZigBee is application. So this in the top the ZigBee we are using in the application layer. So below that all these things are working for ZigBee protocol stack. Okay. So next one is, so they are explaining how that ZigBee will work here. So ZigBee utilizes the IEEE 802.4 standard at the lower physical and MAC layer, network and security layer, and application support layer that is sit on the top of the lower layers. The ZigBee network and security layer provides the mechanism for network startup. Okay. So network startup means how network will get start transferring the information or accepting the information, configuration, routing, and securing communication all made by the network and security layer. So and then network layer for forming the appropriate topology, which is mesh, star, or tree. So in network they will make any network topologies, so based on the number of devices are connected. In security, ZigBee utilizes 802.15.4 for security. The MAC has the MAC layer using the advanced encryption standard. So here for security we are using AES algorithm. Your 802.15.4 also uses the AES advanced encryption standard for encrypting data of 128 bit key. Okay, here AES 128 bits are using in ZigBee also. Application layer interface, the lower portion of the stack dealing with the network of ZigBee devices with the higher layer application. Actually, application layer is the main layer to interact with other devices, so that accepts the instructions from lower layers. Okay, these are the protocol stack of your ZigBee, and then the next one is ZigBee IP. So we already know ZigBee IP is updated version of ZigBee. So in ZigBee we are not using IPv6. Here we are going to use IPv6. Okay, so IEEE 802, this one is also using IEEE 802.15.4 IP and TCP or UDP protocols. So mainly it is using UDP because of wired connection. Okay, can also use for wireless. Sorry, UDP we are using for wireless. Can also use for wired. If you are using wired, then you are using TCP. But mainly we are using UDP. For various other open standards are supported to the network and transport layer. Open standard like LLS, LOSI, low power laser networks, LLN in the sense IPv6. Why? Because of this one is using 6LO WPAM and RPL. Okay, routing protocol layer. Okay, routing protocol layer. This provides the low bandwidth, low power, and cost effective communication where connecting smart objects. So these are all the things used in ZigBee IP. But in ZigBee, they are not using this low power laser networks IPv6, 6LO, WPAN, and RPL. But now these open standards are using by your ZigBee IP. So ZigBee IP applications are mainly used in smart energy and smart metering and residential energy management systems. There in these fields we are using ZigBee IP. Okay, so that ZigBee IP protocol stack. So this one is a ZigBee IP protocol stack. In physical layer, this one is using IEEE 802.15.4 for 2006. That this one is not using fundamental basic. So this one is using 802.15.4 2006 physical layer and as well as MAC layer. And then next in network layer and adoption, they are using 6LO WPAN, 6LO WPAN. So this one is the protocol they are using for transferring the packets, IPv6 packets in network layer. And the next in upper layer they are using IPv6 for transferring layers, ICMP. Okay, in internet internet control message protocol. Okay, and then 6LOP. Okay, and then RPA protocols they are using, and in upper layer they are using UDP, TCP. Okay, in application layer they are using USB IP. Okay, so this one is the application. This one is application adaptation. They are using UDP IP. So this one is the ZigBee IP protocol stack. Okay, so here they are mentioning that in adoption layer they are using 6LO WPA. ZigBee IP utilizes a mesh over or route over method for forwarding packets. So these two, mesh over or route over, both are same, just like mesh topology. The route over is also work. So mesh ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ route over ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So in adoption layer, so in 6 low power wireless private area network, this ZigBee IP utilizes mesh topology. It supports 6LO WPAN fragmentation and header compression schemes. So to compress that header, okay, that architecture. See next, can network layer they are using this IPv6, MPv6, 6LOP, LO, WPAN neighbor discovery, neighbor ND gets neighbor discovery. Okay, and utilize RPL for routing for packets across the mesh network. Okay, network layer, these are the protocols they are using: IPv6, ICMPv6, and 6LO WPA neighbor discovery. Both the TCP and UDP are also supported to provide both connection oriented and connectionless services for your ZigBee IP. Okay, and then next we discussed about physical layer. These are all regarding standard and alliances for your IEEE 802.15.4 IoT access technology. So in standard and alliances we discussed about how that standard, which are the standards we are designed for this technology. So ZigBee, here mainly we discussed about ZigBee and as well as ZigBee IP. So next one is what? Next one is uh, we have to discuss about the physical layer. So in physical layer, so physical connection, how they are going to connect at the devices. We can connect it through wide or wireless. Mainly this IoT IEEE 802.15.4 technology, they are connected in wireless. So this the 802.15.4 standard supports an extensive number of physical options that range from 2.4 GHz to sub-gigahertz frequency in ISM bands. So in that in the range of 2.4 GHz to sub-gigahertz means a large amount of gigahertz devices also supported in the physical layer. Okay, So you can connect a number of devices at the physical end. So these standards are based on DSSS direct sequence spread spectrum. So direct sequence spread spectrum to this standard can directly connect it. Okay, directly you can interact or directly you can uh, transfer the contents. Contents means your datas to a sequence spectrum. Okay, so it's a modulation technique in which signals is intentionally spread in the frequency domain, resulting in greater bandwidth. So you can directly, in the form of sequence, you can send the signals. Okay, so that will be having greater bandwidth. The original physical layer transmission options were as follows. So originally physical layer ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೇಂಜ್ಗೆ ಡೇಟಾಸನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. For example, you can transfer the range from 2.4 gigahertz to sub gigahertz means a large gigahertz. So listen here. So if you are using 2.4 gigahertz, you can connect to 16 channels with a data rate of 250 kbps. So for this divide, you can connect 16 channels. 16 devices you can connect it of data rate 250 kbps. So if you are using 250 to 915 megahertz, okay, megahertz ಗೆ 10 channels, only 10 channels means less than this of 2.4 gigahertz. So 10 channels with data rate 40 kbps, 40 kbps data rate ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನು ಲೆಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ 868 ಮೆಗಾಹರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಚಾನಲ್ ಒನ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ಡೇಟಾ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ 20 kbps. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ different frequency bands in the physical layers where we can connect. Okay, note mainly we are using here, they mentioned that mainly in these three mainly we are using 2.5 gigahertz. So this operates worldwide we are using this 2.4 gigahertz. Okay, so these are the additional physical communication options. So the additional physical communications options are OQPSK, so offset quadrature phase shift keying. So this one is the signal shifting. Okay, and then BPSK physical layer, so binary phase shift keying. Okay, binary phase shift keying, so it will shift the data based on binary values. Okay, so these two are also working based on DSS, direct spread spectrum. Okay, and then ASK amplitude shift keying. So this one is by amplifying the array signals. Okay, so these improvements increase the maximum data rates. These are the additional physical communication options available for this IoT 802.15.4 technology. But mainly we have to write this. Okay, this 2.4 gigahertz. Okay, we mainly use this 2.4 gigahertz. So the additional are offset quadrant phase shift keying, and then the binary phase shift keying. In offset quadrant phase shift keying, so modulation technique uses 4 unique bit values that are signed by the phase changes. So here they are using 4 shift keys. So that unique key values, so that will be shift the signals. So an offset functions that are present during the phase shift allows data transmitter more reliably. Here they are using 4 shift keys that helps to transfer the data reliably, and then binary shift keys. So this model unique phase shifters assist data encoding. Okay, this will encode the data and then transfer the information. This binary shift key. Okay, that data, whatever the data you are sending, that one will get encoded. And then amplitude shift key. This is parallel sequence spread spectrum. Okay, this one is not the direct sequence spread spectrum. This one is parallel spread sequence spectrum employing amplitude shift keying and BPSK binary phase shift keying modulation. P3 is an advanced encoding scheme that offers increased range, throughput, data rates, and signal integrity compared to DSS. ASK amplitude shift keying uses amplitude shift instead of phase shifting. So here in this two, okay, OQPSK and BPSK. So offset quadrant phase shift keying and binary phase shift keying. These two are using DSS, direct sequence spread spectrum. So these two are based on phase the data signals are get varied and then transferred. But ASK uses parallel spread spectrum, parallel sequence spread spectrum. So here based on amplitude that will send the information signals, vary the signals. Okay, this one is the structure of your physical layer format of your IEEE 802.15.4. IEEE 802.1.4 the physical layer format. So this physical layer contains um, first 6 bits for synchronization header and then physical header. Okay, first 6 bits ಯಾವುದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ synchronization header and physical header, and then next 0 to 127 bits, 128 bits, total 132 bits. In that 132 bits, first 6 bits for synchronization header and physical header, and the next remaining 128 bits for physical service data unit. So here actually the data will be sent is PSDU, physical service data unit. So this one is the physical uh, service data unit. Actual data will be placed here. So this data, how the data will be sent, so how the data will get reduced, what are the information we are attaching in that data, that we discussed in MAC layer. Okay, MAC layer the end component irutte, that will be discussed. But this physical layer, in this physical layer we have total 132 bits. Then that first 6 bits for, in that first 6 bits, 5 bits for synchronization header, and then 1 byte for physical header, and then remaining 128 bits for physical service data unit. So in this synchronization header we have two parts. One is preamble and then start of frame delimiter. So in this preamble is a 32 bit. Okay, 32 bit. So or 4 byte pattern that identifies that start of the frame, and it is used to synchronize the data transmission. Okay, this preamble 32 bits indicates the starting point of the frame. Okay, if you, while we are transferring the information or data in the network, we are creating a frames ಅನ್ನ create ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, frames ಆಗಿ packets ಆಗಿ convert ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, that frames, that starting frame number ನ indicate ಮಾಡೋದು, and then frame ನ synchronize ಮಾಡೋದು. So it start transmitting ನ start ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ data transmission ನ, so that one will be indicated for that indication, for that mentioning the information. So we used preamble. This preamble consists of 32 bit preamble irutte. So that contains the information of starting of the frame, identify the start of the frame starting ಮತ್ತೆ synchronization of data transmission synchronize ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ preamble ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. And then start of frame delimiter field, inform the receiver that frame contains the start immediately after this byte. So this start of delimiter that inform the receiver. So receiver ಯಾರಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ inform ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ frame contents start immediately, frame contents immediate ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಲಿಮಿಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಹೆಡರ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ 1 byte ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ listen here, physical header, that frame length, it lets the receiver know how much total data expect in the PSDU, physical service data unit ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೇಟಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, total amount of data, that one is represented in physical header. And then PSDU, physical service data unit, this data field are payload. ಎಷ್ಟು payload ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೇಟಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, maximum size is 127 bytes, 127 bytes of data na payload ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. This one is the physical layer structure. So that physical layer contains total 22 bits, first 6 bits for synchronization header, and then a physical header. This synchronization header contains preamble. So this preamble helps to synchronize the data transmission, and then data transmission synchronization, and as well as, so this one indicates the starting point of frame the starting point ಮತ್ತೆ synchronization of data transmission ನ represent ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. And then starting of the start of frame delimiter. So this start of the frame delimiter from the receiver, the frame content start immediately after this byte. Frame data contents start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ inform ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. And then next one is frame length, indicates how much payload this physical layer contains. And the next exactly payload, the payload we represented in PSDU. Okay, so and then next one is MAC layer. So this MAC layer manages. So now, sorry, so in last in last two concepts we discussed about standardization and analysis and physical layer. Next one is MAC layer. So this MAC layer manages access to the physical channel. So physical channel alli ನೀವೇನು payload ನ attach ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರ, that will be accessed by this MAC layer. So this one will be accessed by the MAC layer. So defines how devices in the same area will share the frequency allocated, same area frequency ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ allocated ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, and then how the data frequency ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೋಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪೇಲೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಪೇಲೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ PSDU ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಪೇಲೋಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ PSDU ಡೇಟಾ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಏನು ಡೇಟಾನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ರೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಡೇಟಾ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ, ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಯುವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ ಲೇಯರ್. ಸೊ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ beaconing for devices acting as coordinators. Okay, network beaconing is a device for wireless communication using ZigBee use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ beacons, so that will transmit the data. So PAN, personal area network association and dissociation by a device. So that device is physical personal area network ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಡೇಟಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಯುವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ ಲೇಯರ್. And then device security, and then reliable link communication between two pair MAC entities. ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರಿಲಯಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So that one will be defined by your MAC layers. So that MAC frames are specified in 802.15.4. So 802 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ MAC frame ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so data frame, beacon frame, acknowledgement frame. So data frame handles all transfer of data. So in MAC layer we have data frame, beacon frame. So data frame ಅಲ್ಲಿ and acknowledgement frame ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡೇಟಾ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬೀಕನ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಡೇಟಾನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬೀಕನ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೀಕನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್. PAN ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಬೈ beacon frame. So I already told beacon is a wireless device that uses ZigBee na use ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು it will transfer the information. Okay, acknowledgement frame confirm that successful reception of a frame successful ಆಗಿ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು acknowledgement frame. And then MAC command frame responsible for control communication between the device. So communication between device control ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು, MAC command frame. So the 802.15.4 MAC frame broken down into MAC header, MAC payload and MAC footer fields. So this MAC layer again we divided into three types. So one is MAC header, MAC payload and MAC footer field. So your MAC frame ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ these three fields ಇರುತ್ತೆ, header, payload ಮತ್ತೆ footer fields. So frame main ಆಗಿ frames ಅನ್ನ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಡೇಟಾ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ಸ್, beacon frames, acknowledgement frame, MAC command frame. ಡೇಟಾ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. beacon ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಕ್ನಾಲೆಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಡೇಟಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ MAC layer. already told. So MAC layer ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, so that MAC layer is attached to MAC layer is attached to your physical frame ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು, preamble, startup frame, delimiter, frame length ಇತ್ತು. So these are the identification. And then remaining 127 bits ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, physical PHY service data unit. So that one is your MAC frame. So in that MAC frame, so here listen, so first two bytes are for MAC control. So in previous slide we see that, so it have three parts: MAC header, MAC payload and MAC footer. So in MAC header we have MAC frame control, sequence number, designation, personal area network identifier, designation address, source of personal area network identifier, source address. Okay, so in header we have this information. header ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್, ಯಾವ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈರ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪೇಲೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಪೇಲೋಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಎಷ್ಟಾರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ 2 bytes ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1 byte ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 4 to 20 bytes ಅಡ್ರೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಯರ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್, ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಯರ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ 4 to 20 bytes ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದೇ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಡ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್. ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ 2 bytes. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫೂಟರ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, next we see the Mac frame. So Mac header field. So in header field, frame control defines attributes such as frame type, addressing mode, and other control flags. So ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ addressing mode ಏನೇನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ frame type ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು frame control. Okay, so same frame control ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. Sequence number identifies the sequence indicates the sequence identified for frame ದು sequence ಯಾವ sequence ಅಲ್ಲಿ frame ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು sequence number. Okay, for example pre-ready device while you are sending the information. So at a time a number of packets ಅನ್ನು ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಯಾವ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಯಾವ pre-ready ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು sequence number. Addressing fields ಅಲ್ಲಿ specify source and destination person error network identify fields. So what I told, so the same thing here also they mentioned source ಮತ್ತೆ destination address fields ಅನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ addressing fields ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So next Mac payload fields varies individually frame type. Maximum payload is 127 bits ಇರುತ್ತೆ and also defines how a 16-bit short address is assigned to a device. For example, beacon frames have specific fields and payloads related to beacons. Mac command frames have different fields present. So actually the payload is 128 bits. So 128 bits 127 bits ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So 127 bytes ಡೇಟಾನ this Mac payload transfer ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Sometimes some extra bits will be added while we are transferring through beacon frames ಅಲ್ಲಿ extra ಏನಾದ್ರು ನೀವು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ by using beacons ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ so extra 16 bits ಅನ್ನ assign ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, that's why they mentioned example beacon frames have specific bits and payloads related to a beacons. So in beacons they have specific fields ಇರುತ್ತೆ so that can attach extra just like buffer zone ತರ extra fields ಅನ್ನು means extra 16 bytes of data can assign. Mac command frames have different fields present to accept the extra buffer some extra bits ಅನ್ನು add ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ but maximum you can add payload up to 127 bytes. Mac footer field is nothing but more than a frame check sequence. So this frame check sequence is calculation based on data in the frame that is used by the receiving side to confirm the integrity of data in the frame. So I already told frame check sequence in the sense integrity check. Here they are going to check that integrity that receiver will receive the information by sending the acknowledgement. So we already know that acknowledgement is there here. Okay, so acknowledgement frame, so that one is present in Mac footer. Okay, so this one is the Mac layer. Okay, and then next one is topology. So in topology mainly they use they can use star, peer-to-peer and or topology. So based on number of devices they are going to connect. If they are connected to less number of devices they prefer star. Okay, or they can't connect to more number of devices they communicate with each other. Okay, they can use some mesh. Okay, they want to interact 2 to 4 system all are simultaneously exchange their information, then they prefer peer-to-peer. But if they want to send information from the center point, so then they prefer star topology. So mainly they are use mesh network tie together many nodes. This allows nodes that would be out of range is trying to communication directly leverage intermediate nodes to transfer communication. Okay, so mainly here they use mesh topology. Okay, mesh topology na use ಮಾಡಿ they enhance the communication. So 802.15.4 personal network should be set up with a unique ID. Unique ID, all the nodes in the same 802.5 1.5.1. Sorry, 802.15.4 network should use the same PAN ID. Means so here they generated one unique ID. Okay, this network generated unique ID for all the devices. So they by using that unique ID they can interact with each other. So this one is the sample mesh topology. So here personal area coordinator. Okay, we have personal area coordinator. So this will coordinate the full functional devices and the reduced functional devices by using only single unique PAN ID. So in minimum of one FFT acting on a PAN ID coordinator. Full functional devices, one all functional devices will act on at a time. One full functional device can act on personal area network coordinator is required to deliver service that allow other devices to choose in the form of cell or PAN. The single PAN coordinator is identified with PAN ID. Example PAN ID is 1. full functional devices can communicate with any other devices, whereas RFT reduced functional devices can communicate only with the FFT devices. We already know, we already discussed in first module. Full functional devices can communicate with all the nodes, but RFT, if they want to interact with any other nodes, first you intimate to FFT, okay, by using through this personalized network coordinator. Okay, and then security, we already know for security. So here in 802.15.4 it uses advanced encryption standard AES. It also uses AES. By using that AES we can provide security 128 bits key. Okay, so this one is the structure. Okay, structure of AES algorithm. Okay, how that auxiliary security header, how the security will be provided in MAC layer. So here first one, security enabled bit in frame control is set 1. Okay, here till here set 1. Auxiliary security header field is added to the MAC frame. So security header, for header they provide separate security, means header informations are encrypted separately and then payload information will encrypted separately. Okay, so frame format with auxiliary security header field for header 2.1.54. okay, so 26 and later question. Okay, security features slightly and consume more some of the payload. So here mainly we need to encrypt the information of that starting header information encryption and payload. The important thing is payload we need to encrypt. Okay, so that encrypt by using AES algorithm. So competitive technologies. So that competitive technology, for the last concept is competitive technologies. That competitive technologies. So they are using Dash 7. So this Dash 7 was originally based on ISO 18007 standard and positioned for industrial communication, whereas IEEE is for generic. So this Dash is a standard one. Okay, this one is a competitive technology mainly used for industrial communication, but this one is for general use. This IEEE 802.15.4. Okay, so this commonly used radio frequency identification. So commonly employed to active radio frequency implementation. Dash 7 was used by US military force for many years. So the competitive technology for this 802.15.4 is your Dash 7. So this one is mainly used in US military force that uses the RFID, radio frequency identification. So now what we are using, that RFID tags, that one. Active RFID utilizes radio waves generated by battery powered tag on an object and enable continuous tracking. The current Dash 7 technology offers low power consumption, a compact protocol stack ranges up to 1 mile, and AES encryption. So these two are the technology for this IEEE 802.15.4. So RFID and Dash is mainly used in battery application. RFID is a battery enabled tag. Okay, so now for tracking animals and then for tracking the animal movements and then plants movements, we are using RFID, and then Dash mainly used in military applications, so it can cover only up to 1 mile. It uses AES algorithm to for encryption. Okay, these are the IEEE 802.15.4 IoT access technology specifications. So here, this one is the important question asked in your previous year examination. Explain IEEE 802.15.4 standard of protocol stack. So if that's protocol stack, you have to explain physical layer, MAC layer, and then ZigBee protocol stack layers. You need to explain. Okay, so we could quickly recap that what are the concepts we discussed. Okay, today we discussed about which are the IoT technologies are available. So these are the 6 IoT technologies, and then while we are defining that IoT technologies, we need to address that IoT technologies by using this following specifications. So these 6 are important. If you want to define any IoT technology, we need to define by using this address. Okay, so standardization and analysis, and then second one is physical layer, MAC layer, topology, security, and technologies. First we discussed about IEEE 802.15.4. So this one is the basic one. Okay, basic one. And then this uses wireless technology and then low cost and low data, right? So mainly used in home and then industry automation. Okay, so short range. So and then the standards that developed by using these technologies will be and 6LO, WPN, ZBIP, ISA at the 100.11a, wireless HRT and thread. So and then we discussed about that things and then ZigBee. Okay, ZigBee protocol stack we discussed and then ZigBee IP protocol stack we discussed. Okay, and then physical layer. So this physical layer is important. So in physical layer, 6 bits for synchronization data and physical data, and then remaining 127 bits for physical physical service data unit. So this physical service data unit will be defined in MAC layer. MAC layer we have data range beacon frame, acknowledgement frame and MAC command frame. So here that broken that MAC layer into three parts: MAC header, MAC payload and MAC footer field. So that MAC header contains the information about source and destination and frame information and then sequence number of the frame, and then payload having that contain actual data, and then footer for integrity check. Okay, acknowledgement for getting acknowledgement. Okay, and then topology, it uses mesh topology mainly. Okay, so based on availability they can use star or pair. Okay, and then here the main thing is, so here one personal network ID will be created using that ID. The network will and then devices will come to the network by using that ID, unique ID. So here we have a concept called PAN coordinator. So personal area network coordinator by using that personal area ID, network ID. So for functional devices and reduced functional device security AS algorithm. Okay, as well as service header. So mainly they encrypt the data by using AS algorithm in the payload. Okay. So and then comparative technologies are DAC7 and as well as RFID. Okay, next video we discussed about next IoT access technology, but this one is very important. So this one is very lengthy actually. So for examination purpose, this one is very important. Okay, please go through this video. Okay, so next video we meet on next video. In next video we discussed about IEEE 802.15.4G and 802.5.4E. This one is the advanced version of your IEEE 802.15.4 IoT access basic technology. Okay, next video we meet on next video. Thank you. Bye bye.